I enjoyed filming my Taboo Q&A so much that I wanted to do another one. Let's just remember that this is a safe and happy place. Positive vibes. If anyone wants to jump on here and be negative, you can fuck right off. I'm here to create a sisterhood with you guys, and I'm totally fine with airing my dirty laundry all over the internet. We should not be ashamed for wanting to speak up about this stuff. It is natural and it is normal, and I know a lot of you guys are curious about other women's opinions on certain topics. So here I am to do my best to educate you guys maybe, and also give you my opinion. So let's do it. Let's fucking do this shit. So the first question is about body hair. How to groom down there. I personally hate shaving. Do guys expect no hair down there? From my experience, not all men actually want you to be bald down there. I personally shave just because that's what I like on my body. I felt pressured when I was younger to make sure if I was going to be sexually active with a guy to make sure that everything down there was clean and pristine. But as I've got older and the more relationships I've had, it actually doesn't really matter that much. I'm sure different men have different preferences, but the guys that I've been with, when they're super horny, the last thing they give a fuck about is the hair on your foot. Okay, they want to just get it done. They want to get in there, hun. I think it's different for every guy, as I said, different preferences, and also what you're comfortable with. I prefer waxing. I feel like when you shave, it grows back and it's really fucking itchy, and I fake tan a lot, but when I'm super fair, it's not attractive when it grows back and when it's really itchy. Like it rashes up for me. I have quite sensitive skin. So I do prefer waxing, but I can't wax right now. And I need to find someone that I'm comfortable with, because I'm not going to go into any like waxing joint and fucking spread my legs and be like, hey bitch, Brazilian me up. If you want to go get waxed, you have the choice if you want to get rid of it all or leave like a landing strip and stuff like that. And even when you watch porn, like you see like a lot of women, not all of them are bald. Like some men prefer hair, okay, and some don't. It just depends, but just do what you're comfortable with doing. Don't feel pressured to do anything for a guy, okay? That's my biggest like advice to anyone. Don't feel pressured into doing anything for a man, okay? You gotta do you, boo. Worry about you and how you feel and what you want. I related to the question about never orgasming. How do you work out what you like? I do plan on doing like a full video about orgasms and stuff like that. When I say like you need to figure out what you like, you need to explore your body. When you're feeling like turned on or anything like that, if you're comfortable and you're in the right place, play around down there, doll, okay? Have a feel, get to know your bits, okay? Find out what turns you on. Does porn turn you on? Does reading a steamy book scene turn you on? What are the scenarios you're playing in your head that makes you want to fondle down there? Like you just need to just literally play, all right? Play with yourself, hun, okay? Get in there and figure out what's what. There's one thing when it comes to orgasms that I'm gonna talk about in the video that I'm planning on doing, and I learnt this from a documentary on Netflix. A lot of women think that you can orgasm via in the vagina, like the G-spot. That doesn't exist, hun. That is a fucking myth. Most and pretty much all orgasms come from the stimulation of the clitoris. So fondle with that little nub down there, darling, okay? That's gonna get you going. A lot of men literally don't know that. It's like rocket science to them. They think just going in like that is going to do the job. No, that feels good. But we gotta get, you know, the work done on the outside and that at the same time. How do you prepare for anal? Have you ever douched? No, I've never douched and I don't ever plan on doing it. You're not meant to douche. I think like porn stars and stuff like that do it because obviously, you know, they're filming. They're having like heaps of sex with lots of people. You know, obviously they'd want to clean themselves out. I've never douched and I don't think it's good for you. I'm pretty sure it's bad for you, especially if you do it regularly. How do you prepare for anal? I've only done that a couple of times in my life. I just make sure like I'm empty beforehand. If you're gonna go down the anal route, you gotta make sure you're with someone that understands that you can't just ram it in there. The bum hole is not like the vaginal hole, okay? It doesn't it's different skin, darling, and it's very common for tears and rips and stuff like that to happen when you do anal if they're not careful. And they need to make sure that you're very lubed up. You need to make sure you're super relaxed. Like, you can't be tense. You've got to be super fucking relaxed before they go in. Yeah, and you just got to make sure that there's a lot of foreplay and you're really fucking turned on and relaxed, and there's a lot of lube going on before anyone even enters that area. Because there's been cases of like younger girls, you know, watching really aggressive anal scenes like on porn websites, then going and doing anal with their boyfriend, and then ending up in the fucking hospital because they need their asshole sewn back up. And the man that you're doing it with, or boy that you're doing it with, understands that too, that it doesn't work like the vagina. It's got to be really fucking lubed up, and they've got to take their time and care and not just ram in there. Anal sex, good or nah? I think it's different for every woman that has done anal. I know there's women out there that fucking love anal, probably prefer anal over like vaginal sex. And I have done it, it's been enjoyable. It's not my favorite, okay? I don't, you know, wake up in the morning and I'm like, yep, we're doing anal today. Yeah, I think also it depends on who you're with or who you're doing it with. But yeah, I don't know, it's just kind of, it's different. If you haven't done it and you want to know, it's a different feeling. Would you date someone 20 years older than you? So I'm 25, that means someone who's 45. If I was single, maybe. It depends on the person. I don't know, it depends if there was like a chemistry there or they were really hot or something. I don't know. I definitely am not opposed to age gaps. I've always dated guys that are older than me. Not in the sense of like 20 years older than me, but like I think the biggest age gap I've ever had was like 7 years, and I was a teen. I was 15 when I dated that person. But now that I'm in like my mid-20s, I probably would. They couldn't be like some old Joe Blow, you know what I mean? As I've gotten older and I'm in my mid-20s now, I've noticed like older men that are attractive, and they're attractive to me, which is, you know, that was never a thing when I was younger. I was never like 16 looking at a 40-year-old being like, damn boy, like that wasn't my thing. What was your first time like, and do you have any advice for virgins? My first time was planned, but it was in the total wrong environment with the total wrong person. Even though it was planned and we were friends at the time, I'm glad that I did it with someone that I knew and it wasn't just like a one-night stand thing. But the whole thing was like planned, but then rushed, and it was just the wrong environment at the wrong time. We were at a party. He was the same age as me, so we were both 14 at the time. He didn't really like prep me well, and he just kind of just went in, and it lasted very little amount of time. And then he kind of like laughed and like got up and walked away, and I was just left laying there like, you're joking, right? You're absolutely fucking joking. After I lost my virginity and then I slept with a couple of more people, I was like, is this what sex is? Like, no one knew what the fuck they were doing, and I was so shocked because like I'd watched movies, I'd watched porn, I had friends that were having sex at the same time. And you know, like I have older siblings, so like my sister's 6 years older than me and my brother's 10 years older than me, and like sex was never like a shy conversation in our household. And I thought, you know, this sex was going to be this amazing thing, and it wasn't. I was really like, this is the most like boring blasé thing ever, like it's not even that good. And then I found someone who knew what the fuck they were doing, and then that changed my perspective on it. Advice for virgins: do not rush. Do not rush. Do not feel like you need to do it because everyone around you is doing it. Peer pressure, no honey. Make sure that you are comfortable, as comfortable as you can be within yourself to let someone else into your body. Try and do it in the right environment. Try and not do it when you're drunk and you're partying with some rando. Make sure you know the person and you know the person well. Prepare yourself that sex isn't going to be amazing for a while until you figure out more about yourself and what you like, and until you find someone that knows what they're doing. Were you scared before you lost your virginity? Absolutely not. Wasn't afraid or scared at all. As I said, it was planned. Like, we had a conversation. I knew what was going down that night. Like, I knew what was happening. And so many people in my life were having sex. So like I was excited to like do it, and it just ended up not being what I wanted, but that's fine. It is what it is. Have you ever thought about having a sexual encounter with a female? Yes, I have. I am straight and I've only ever dated men. I've hooked up with other girls and stuff like that and got a little bit like touchy-feely, but I've never had like an intense sexual encounter with a woman. But I definitely can appreciate the female body, and like if a female walks past me and she's attractive, like I check her out. These days there's labels for everything, right? You know, you're straight, you're lesbian, you're bisexual, you're fucking transgender, you're fucking this, you're fluid, you're this and that. And I hate labels. I really fucking do. I'm someone that believes that you can fall in love with anyone's soul, man or woman. So I wouldn't say that I'm bisexual, because I don't think I could live without dick, to be honest, to be straight up real with you. But I definitely have had thoughts about, you know, exploring with another woman before. And I have lesbian friends, and throughout my life I've known lesbians, and they always point that out to me. They always say to me, I reckon you could swing the other side. If I could have my time again, I probably would experiment with a girl if I could find the right one to do so. A fantasy you have always had. I'm guessing like a sexual fantasy. I'm trying to think. I'm not really someone that's like, I don't like fantasize about too much. I don't know. Probably having a threesome. Yeah, with two guys. I've wanted to do that, but I never had the confidence when I was younger. I never did. And I also, as I said in my last comment, the people that I was around when I was younger were very judgmental, and I just never wanted to get a name for myself. I think now, if you're in your mid-20s and you're single and you have these thoughts and feelings, totally explore them, because as you get older, that kind of judgmental shit kind of drops. Shower sex. When you like the water hot as Satan's ass and he likes it like the Antarctic Ocean. Tell me about it, sis. I've had plenty of shower sex in my life. It's just not portrayed like it is, okay? It's always fucking awkward. It depends on the shower. How big's your shower? My shower's a little small, so it's like, how are we gonna do this? Like, you're fucking up against the thing, and it's like, it's this whole situation. Thoughts on getting head on your period with a tampon in so no blood? Well, that's the first. I've never even thought of that. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. You love age gap stories. Did you have in real life men you were sexually attracted to that were much older? Not necessarily. I've never been with someone that's been significantly older than me. As I said before, I did date a 22-year-old when I was 15, and yeah, that was 7 years. That was the biggest age gap I've had. As I said, I've been in a 7-year relationship since I was 18. All of my 20s, I've been in a relationship. So I haven't explored older men as an adult. There has been men in my life that have been like, you know, 10 years older than me or whatnot that I have found attractive, but I've never had experiences with them. A grown man is going to be way more switched on with women compared to a fucking teenage boy. As simple as that. And that's like attractive to me. So yeah, that's why I like love age gap stories and, you know, support age gap relationships and find it like attractive. But yeah, I've never actually had like an experience with a super older person, especially as an adult. I hate how it's weird for me to talk about what I want in the bedroom because I don't want to be judged or laughed at. Tips. Whoever you have in your life, if you can't openly talk to them about this kind of stuff, get the fuck rid of them. Obviously, they're not your person. You know, the people I have in my life, I can drop this shit that we're talking about right now to them and they don't even bat an eyelid. It's not even like a question. I never get the whole like raised eyebrow kind of, are you alright sis type of, you know, treatment if I bring this stuff up. And I wouldn't surround myself with people that are like that. I hate judgmental people. People that judge you for your choices, your actions, like, you know, your beliefs and stuff like that, they are judgmental because they're insecure within themselves. And they're probably judging you because you have the balls to speak up about something that they think about. And you know what? If someone's gonna laugh at you for like bringing up what you want in the bedroom, I would just shut them the fuck down and be like, well, at least I know what I want in the bedroom. Like, at least I'm confident within myself with what turns me on. So you can laugh all you want, sis, but I'm gonna be living my best fucking life in my bedroom with whoever I'm sleeping with while you're too afraid to explore yourself. Favorite sex toy? Those little bullet things. Can't live without them, hun. You need to get one in your life if you don't have one. Period sex. I've had period sex before. Unfortunately for me, my libido is like through the fucking roof when I'm on my period, and I'm like, why? Like, why am I bleeding and I just want to ride you, hun? But it's been really enjoyable when I have done it, and it's really good. It's like better than normal sex. It really is. It's just so annoying that you're bleeding. And you know, it depends on who you're with too. Some dudes are not comfortable with it at all, but then some dudes just don't even give a fuck. It just depends on who you're with. I also find it with my period pains and my cramps, the orgasms help me. Like, they actually release the pressure and the pain that I get in my back and, you know, obviously in my uterus, which is really nice when you have your period, to release that stuff and just feel good. How did your first kiss go? Hun, couldn't even tell ya. Can't even remember it. Can't even remember who I first kissed. I think I had my first kiss when I was like 12. I can't even fucking remember. Couldn't tell ya, but it was not good. It was like one of those like open mouth, and you just hold your mouth like open like that, and then the tongue just goes in. Yeah. How do you not feel left out because you haven't had your first kiss or boyfriend yet? See, I don't know how to answer that, because I have been dating and like, you know, kissing and all that for a long fucking time. Like, I lost my virginity when I was 14, and like I started hooking up with dudes and shit when I was like 12. I was pashing in fucking primary school, mate, like living my absolute best. So I don't know what it's like to, like, you know, not have had my first boyfriend or kiss yet, and all my friends have. I, like, in high school, I was that girl that was like, I'd kissed and like done things with boys, but my friends hadn't. Like, a lot of them hadn't just yet. And, you know, I remember telling like certain people that I was friends with, like, my experiences and like what I, you know, who I hooked up with and stuff like that. And they'd be like, at me, because, you know, they weren't doing that shit, but I was. It's not a competition, babe. Like, it's not a competition, you know. Don't treat it like that. Don't feel left out. Your time will come. Yeah, your time will come, and the more you wait, the better it will be. And yeah, there's nothing to be like ashamed of or embarrassed about. And you know what? Like, you may feel a little bit left out. But that's okay. You'll have your time, and when it does, you'll be able to join in on those conversations. But don't feel pressured to go into, you know, kissing and dating guys if you're not ready, just because your friends are. Kind of boring, but if you could make a movie based on a book, which one would it be? I would love like a TV show on like the Camorra Chronicles or the Born in Blood Mafia Chronicles from Cora Riley. I feel like that would be so lit if they could do like a Queen of South kind of like Narcos thing, but make it like heavily romance based, and it's to do with the Italian American mafia. Have you ever thought of having an open relationship with someone? No, I haven't. I have thought about having threesomes though with a partner, but this is the thing. I'm not judgmental towards like open relationships and stuff like that. If that is your thing and you're into that, you do you, boo. Screw the rest. But for me personally, I'm a very possessive person, okay? I know what I'm like, even in the past with my partner now when we've been like out, you know, clubbing and stuff like that, or like at a bar, and a female speaks to him, I go cuckoo manunu, okay? I just know I would not be able to deal with that. And they say that like if you are to have a threesome or have an open relationship, you gotta make sure that you're super secure within yourself and your relationship, that there's no trust issues. Because if you go into this and you're insecure and you have trust issues and you're like worried that, you know, they're gonna leave you, then it's gonna literally break your relationship. I know me, I wouldn't be able to do it because I am, as I said, very possessive, and he's mine. no one else's, and I wouldn't want someone's paws all over him, okay? I'm his kitty cat, okay? Only my paws get to touch. How many times do you have sex in 1 week? It honestly depends. You know, I could be, 1 week, we could do it like fucking every day, you know what I mean? Or like, I could go 2 weeks without it. I don't book it in on a calendar. I don't like, you know, reminder, gotta have sex today. It just happens when it happens. Someone asked me, have you ever been able to squirt? What's your opinion about it? I have. I've done it like twice, I'm pretty sure, in my whole time of having sex. What's my opinion about it? I don't know. I don't really, like, it wasn't embarrassing or anything when it happened. I think you can make yourself squirt. I think there is a way of doing it. I can't remember what actually was going on at the time for me to do that. Some men find it hella attractive, like real, you know, attractive. I don't really, whatever, like if it happens, it happens. As I said, I've only done it like twice and I can't remember how or what was going on for it to happen. But, funny story though, when it happened the first time when I was younger, my boyfriend at the time told everyone. So that was a bit rude of him. And I ended up getting a nickname from a couple of people. They used to call me Squirtle. Pretty fucking embarrassing that people were calling me Squirtle, and I was young and didn't quite understand what even was fucking going on. That was a bit of a dog move that he told people, and then I got a nickname for it. Is it okay to fall in love with a guy who is 10 years older than you and married? Look, I'm definitely not a fan of cheating or anything like that. And if anyone did that to me again, because I've been through that, I would fucking annihilate them. Because it's the shittest fucking feeling in the entire world to be cheated on. It honestly is. I still fucking remember when it happened for the very first time in my first relationship, and I have never experienced that before up until that point. And my stomach and it felt like my organs were falling out of me when I found out. Like, my stomach fucking dropped. It was horrible. It was the most horrible thing, and it caused so many insecurities in my small, tiny, like, immature brain at that time, and it affected me long term. I don't like cheating. My whole thing is, if you're not fucking happy, leave the relationship, okay? Leave it. Don't toy with someone. That's fucked. You're a married man and you're out fucking making girls fall in love with you. You need to check yourself, homie, because that's not on either. Get the fuck out of the marriage. You can't help who you fall in love with though. At the end of the day, you cannot help who you fall in love with. You know, love is love, and it can be found in some of the most nitty-gritty places of life. Is it wrong on your end? You can't help how you feel, but I wouldn't pursue it. I don't know, it's a real touchy-feely thing. Like, this is another thing too. If you fall in love with someone that is already married or in a relationship and they're like cheating on their partner with you, or they're like giving you signals, what's to say they're not going to do that with you? And you know, where is sisterhood, guys? Like, men treat us like shit all the time. We get cheated on, you know, there's so many cases of best friends sleeping with your boyfriends and stuff like that. We're meant to be a sisterhood, okay? We need to stick together. All right, we need to, you know, just imagine if that was you and you were married to him and some person who was 10 years younger than you were in love with him. Like, that would feel so shit. It would feel so shit. And you know, as I said, you can't help who you fall in love with, but I wouldn't pursue it unless he was giving you signals that he was gonna leave his wife and be with you. And you know, 10 years, like, I'm not opposed to age gaps, but you know, what's your situation, hun? Like, how old are you? Are you a teen? Are you an adult? Like, who is this married man? Yeah, that's a tricky one. Someone said to me that their family is LGBTQ fine, like they're whatever, you know, but they're happy that their daughter isn't a part of that category. So I messaged her and I said, do you mean like, do your parents care if you were gay? And she was like, yeah. My parents don't care about like, you know, if you're gay or straight or anything, but they're happy that I'm not and I'm straight. Personally, I know when I have kids, I'm not going to give a flying fuck if my son or my daughter was gay or lesbian. It doesn't define them as a person. It is not their choice. You don't just wake up one day and you're fucking attracted to women. It just happens. And I would never ever shut out my children because of that. I will love them no matter what, and they will be accepted in my household. Honestly, it would make no difference to me. No difference to me. You know, some people say, oh, you know, but like, you don't get to see them get married. They can get married now. Oh, you know, you won't get to see them have kids. They can have kids. There is options if you're going to be a part of that. Transgender, that would be difficult. Not that I would be opposed to it if my child was that, but that would be difficult because like you give birth to a gender, and it's like that's your baby boy or your baby girl that you fall in love with, and they're your everything, and then they want to change. That would be a difficult process. And to like have them change their name, the name you gave them, that would be difficult. But again, I would never love them any less. I don't like parents that are like that. I'm sorry, but your child is who it is. And it's not wrong to be gay or lesbian or fucking bisexual or any of the above. And that's, yeah, it's crazy that a lot of family members are like that. Like, I'm not against the LGBTQ fucking RX, whatever they're fucking called. But you know, I'm so glad my kids aren't like that. Well then, like, isn't that a little bit of a contradiction right there? Because if you really were okay with it, and if you really were accepting of these people, then you wouldn't even have that opinion. Are you happy that they're straight because they're not going to be bombarded with the troubles that people that are LGBTQ fucking whatever it is have in their life? Or are you happy because they're not going to be labeled as that, and you don't accept that, and you don't think that's right? You know, like, the world is such a different place now. Like, my nieces and nephews, like their generation, they're gonna grow up to be the most powerful generation that this world will ever fucking see. And I'm so here for it. And I like accept everyone, okay? I don't care where you come from, what religion you practice, if you're gay, straight, lesbian, fucking pterodactyl. I don't care if you are black, white. We are all fucking equal in my mind and in my heart. And I hope and I wish that the whole world sees that one day. I really fucking do. And it is so sad that we are still having these arguments, and we are still having these debates, and we are still having these protests for equal rights for everyone. And I feel like what shits me the most about women, a lot of us, not all of us, but women that are racist, or women that, you know, don't accept, you know, lesbians or gays or transgenders. I don't understand that, because it's like, we as women know what it's like to be suppressed. Like, we know what it's like to not have equal rights. Like, we've been fighting our own fight just as a female. So like, how can you be like that? How can you see a person of color and be fucking racist to them when you know, to a certain degree, not the exact same, but to a certain degree, what it's like to not have the same rights as Joe Blow next door? I don't understand it. And I think, like, you know, with Black Lives Matter and fucking like LGBTQ fucking communities, we should, all us women, doesn't matter where we're from, what religion we practice, just us because we're women, should be at the front of their fucking protest with them. Because we get it. We fucking get it. You know, we get sexualized from a fucking young age without a fucking choice. You know, our choices and our rights get taken away from us. We should be fighting them fucking with them. Anyway, that was just me fucking blowing up over that because I get really hot-headed about it. But I just don't understand parents like that. I really fucking don't. Unless you're worried because of how the world is, and you're worried that, you know, there's gonna be backlash against your child because of their like sexual orientation, you might be glad because they're not gonna have to grow up and live a life where they're going to have like negativity forced upon them because of who they are. Maybe that's why you're glad they're not a part of that community. But if there's other reasons, then you're a fuckwit, and I'm not about ya. Okay, so that is it for my Q&A. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, you know what to do. Thumbs it up, subscribe before leaving. Let me know in the comments below what you want to see next. Like, do we want an orgasms video? Do you want me to talk about like my toxic relationships I've been in, my body image issues, because I did actually have an eating disorder at one point. Like, do we want to talk about sex more? Like, what's going on? Let me know. I want to know in the comments below what topics you want to talk about next. I hope you guys have a wonderful day wherever you are, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!